Assume that an economy is currently in long-run equilibrium, and the short-run aggregate supply curve is upward sloping. An adverse supply shock, such as a drought, will most likely cause which of the following to the economy in the short run? So we're told in this situation that there's an economy in long-run equilibrium, and the short-run aggregate supply curve is upward sloping. We're also told that there's an adverse supply shock. So an adverse supply shock is a change in supply or a shift in supply to the left. And we're asked to find which of the following will most likely happen to the economy in the short run. So let's draw this out on a graph. And the graph would look like the following, where the x-axis is real GDP, and the y-axis is price level. The downward sloping curve represents the aggregate demand, and the upward sloping curve represents the short-run aggregate supply. Additionally, there is a long-run aggregate supply curve at the equilibrium point between these two, and it's labeled as LRAS. So we're told that there's an adverse supply shock, and we highlighted earlier that this means that the short-run aggregate supply curve is to the left. So this can be represented by a shift to the left of the short-run aggregate supply curve, or SRAS2 curve. Now from this, we can see that the original real GDP is right here, at this point, or at the intersection here, and it maps out to this level, but afterwards it's down here. So there's a decrease in the real GDP. Furthermore, the price level is right here, but afterwards, at this new intersection, the price level is up here. So there's an increase in the price level. So now we know that the price level has increased, and the real GDP has decreased. So we can eliminate any answer choice that goes against this. A and B are both incorrect because they highlight a decrease in the price level, which is not according to the graph. C, an increase in the price level and an increase in the nominal wage. So this is incorrect because although it does properly highlight how there's an increase in the price level, the nominal wage would not increase because in this case the real GDP has decreased, which also represents the sort of wages, because real GDP and wages are almost synonymous. But because price level has increased, nominal wages will also increase a bit. So because there's a decrease in real GDP and an increase in price level, nominal wages are indeterminate. So C is incorrect. D, an increase in the price level and an increase in the real wage. This is incorrect because real wage should not increase in this case because the price level has increased and real wages take into account inflation, so an increase in inflation would decrease the real wage, not increase. So D can also be eliminated. E, an increase in the price level and a decrease in the real wage. This seems to be the correct answer because it properly shows how there's an increase in the price level and a decrease in the real wages, because real wages would decrease after there's inflation or an increase in the price level. Therefore, the correct answer is E.